In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. Austin police say they've arrested a 22-year-old woman for abandoning a baby in a dumpster. That baby girl was found alive Saturday afternoon. Police say 22-year-old Nelly Dinora Rivera Felipe is the mother of the child and is responsible for dumping her baby outside an apartment complex off of North Lamar. Police say they believe the baby was born on September 19th and abandoned the next day. Neighbors found the newborn girl Saturday afternoon. The baby was taken to the hospital and is doing okay now. Using security footage and witness testimony, police say they found Rivera, who said she dumped her child because she thought she was dead. Rivera is charged with felony endangerment and abandonment of a child, and more charges may be pending. Dozens gathered in downtown San Marcos Thursday to support free speech and a fired Texas State professor. Texas State professor Tom Alter was fired over comments he made at a virtual socialism conference about overthrowing the government. Protesters demanded Texas State reinstate him and respect the First Amendment rights of its employees. And as Daniel Perot tells us, we're also learning of another university staff member who was fired.
Hands off!
In the shadow of the historic Hays County Courthouse,
Reinstate Dr. Tom Alter now!
labor unions and local lawmakers rallied Thursday in support of Tom Alter, a tenured associate history professor who was fired after video of him speaking at an online socialism conference earlier this month showed him talking about overthrowing the U.S. government.
To stand with Tom is to stand against a system that is growing more afraid of its own people by the day. And we will not back down.
University leaders said Alter's comments amounted to inciting violence. He and his supporters disagree.
His statement was about the formation of a new political party to improve upon our current system of government.
Alter has filed a lawsuit against the university, arguing his termination violated the school's own policies, state and federal law.
You are fighting for me. I am fighting for you. We are all fighting for each other.
Dr. Greg Andrews, a former Texas State history professor who worked with Alter, calls what happened a travesty and an outrage.
It's like the university that I don't recognize anymore under the current administration.
And as they protested one firing, they learned of another at Texas State. Katrina Metters says she was fired for a social media post about the student in this incident who was forced to leave the university. Alter calls the firing heart-wrenching.
This is an ongoing fight, and it just shows that we must stand up to this to prevent more firings and an erosion of our basic democratic rights.
A fight over free speech and due process that Alter says is about much more than just getting his job back. Tom Alter and his attorney were in court today to ask a judge to grant a temporary restraining order to get the university to reinstate him and put him back on payroll while things play out. They'll be back in court on Friday to continue that hearing. In San Marcos, Daniel Perot, KVUE News.
In a letter to Alter, Texas State said it decided to fire him because his conduct jeopardized the health and safety of the university community and reflected inappropriate and poor judgment as a faculty member at Texas State University. That's a quote. After the Texas legislature approved millions of more dollars this session to keep film productions in the state of Texas, Austin city leaders are working to make sure Austin is where that money is going. So the city's updating its local film incentive program. Malia Masumoto explains.
Austin's film scene is buzzing.
This isn't our first rodeo. We've had production here since the mid-70s. We've had a crew base and a vendor base that's grown over those years.
Not to mention the film studios and locations. And Austin is the place to film with just about any backdrop, from downtown city streets to out in nature by the lake and over to a quiet residential street and everywhere in between. But for many years, something was missing.
It's kind of like an arms race right now. Productions go where they have the biggest savings, and incentives are kind of key to that.
Brian Gannon, the director of the Austin Film Commission, said this is typically how his conversations with industry professionals would go out in Hollywood.
The big question after all those meetings has always been like, well, what's the state incentive? you guys don't have, what we need.
That was until the Texas legislature started putting aside hundreds of millions of dollars for the Texas Moving Image Industry Incentive Program over the last 2 sessions. This year, they decided on $300 million per biennium for the next 10 years. And now the city of Austin is stepping it up too.
And it comes at a really good time for us.
For the first time since Austin's Creative Content Incentive Program launched back in 2014, they're updating it.
The program update brings a bigger grant opportunity to film, TV, and video game projects that are made in Austin that proudly represent Austin and employ people from Austin.
They're making the applications easier and increasing it from 0.75% cash back to 2.5% for projects filmed in Austin. And coupled with the state's increased 31% incentive.
When we go to LA to tell producers, hey, if you bring your show to Austin, you can get 33.5% back, their eyes kind of bulge and they're like, this is great. Looking for their slates in 2026, Austin and Texas are on the map.
And with all this support,
it puts money back into the local economy, it creates jobs, and it creates a promotion of Austin that's very organic.
Austin hopes to stay on the big screens.
2026 is going to be a good year.
In Austin, Malia Masamoto, KVUE News.
Well, a new music venue is coming to Southeast Austin. AEG Presents broke ground yesterday on a 65,000 square foot indoor venue in the River Park development. It will hold 4,000 people when it opens in early 2027. Officials say it's meant to fill a gap between smaller clubs and large arenas like the Moody Center. The facility on the East Riverside Drive will host concerts, conferences, and private events. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we're introducing you to Daniel Hinojosa. He owns Lift ATX, a gym in East Austin. Yvonne Nava shows us how he's using his platform to improve his community.
The bass is thumping, the metal clanking, and the moment you walk in, you can just feel the energy.
A lot of people throw out the word vibes. There's just something really special about when you pull up to the gym and you hear music blasting.
UT graduate Daniel Hinojosa never planned to own his own gym. For nearly 20 years, he was shaping minds rather than muscles, teaching and coaching East Austin students. That is until a life change came calling.
I kind of was just burnt out, and it was time to pivot into something. I didn't know what. There was always a seed in my head about wanting to start my own business.
So he followed his intuition, went to Houston, got his MBA, moved back to East Austin, and that's where the idea of Lift ATX was born.
Yeah, I didn't know warehouse gyms existed. I was a Gold's Gym guy, I was a LA Fitness guy, and a buddy of mine took me to a gym, a warehouse gym that was grimy, and I fell in love with it, and I immediately knew.
As for the timing of Daniel's dream, well, it wasn't exactly ideal. On September 1st, 2020, right at the height of COVID, he opened up shop.
And we started super small. The goal was 100 members.
But Daniel soon realized he hadn't just launched a gym.
From the cardio room to this wall is all I had.
He had started a movement.
We got 2 members that are going to the Olympia to compete in bodybuilding.
Lift ATX soon blossomed to more than 3,000 members in a space spanning more than 2,200 square feet.
How's your morning going?
Good, ¿cómo estás?
Good, muy bien, muy bien.
Daniel says it's not just about lifting weights, it's about lifting up his community.
I've made it my mission to just use my business as the platform to support East Austin. Not just the gym. The gym's not going anywhere. The weights aren't going anywhere. The goals, the PRs, the weight loss, the transformations, we're not going anywhere. But what else am I doing? What is my purpose? And my purpose is to serve East Austin, and we do that in a lot of different ways.
On any given weekend, you'll see him out and about, contributing to food drives.
So you can be down this aisle right here.
Helping out at school supply giveaways and
make sure to get what y'all want, okay?
Supporting local businesses by collaborating with them.
Good morning.
Daniel credits his team for allowing him to raise the bar.
I pivoted my career at 38, and it's important to continue to pursue your passions and take risks when needed, and it's okay not to know what you want to do. It's been a crazy journey, you'll figure it out. We're very grateful, man.
And that is some great life advice. Those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins.